Before we get into your reading, I'd like to start by thanking everyone who has liked and commented on the videos, as well as subscribed and donated to my channel. I really appreciate it, you guys. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can find all of my contact information, including my email and social media links, as well as links to my music and podcast in the description below this video. Okay, let's get into your reading. What do we have for Gemini? Seven of Cups, Scorpio energy at the foundation of the reading. And the Magician, Gemini, Virgo energy at the sacral. Gemini, I feel like you've finally gotten to a point in your life where you're starting to see very clearly that in order to step into this new season of your life, to fully embrace it, to really go after everything that aligns with your true north, your happiness, your true heart's desires, you must break away from your surroundings. People, places, things, behavioral patterns, whatever it may be. I feel like you're starting to see more clearly now than you ever have before that there's absolutely no way that you can manifest the life of your dreams while you're in this environment. This Seven of Cups at the foundation, Scorpio energy, is really representing you in this energy of high manifestation. However, there's so much distraction around you that it's like you can't get access to particular frequencies, vibrations. You see, when we're trying to manifest something into our life, we essentially have to do things in our life that align with those vibrations so we can become a perfect match for whatever it is we're trying to manifest into our life. And what you're starting to realize is that you cannot access these particular frequencies while you have these other energies around you that are representing frequencies and vibrations that are much lower on the scale. We all know what it's like to step into an environment that feels vibrationally very low, makes us feel a sense of fear. A perfect example of this would be a place that's haunted. You go there and you just feel the energy's off and you feel scared. It's something along these lines. You can't access these particular frequencies while you're in this space. That's the simplest way that I can put this. Now, this can also show up as you not really getting enough time to yourself to concentrate on pulling these things into your reality, your material environment, because you're so distracted, you're so consumed by some sort of temptation. It can also be an energy of you being surrounded by indulgence. For a lot of you out there, this is simply going to be you having friends that are a bad influence on you. Every time you're starting to move forward, all of a sudden one of them pops up and is trying to get you to indulge in some sort of escapism. Hey, let's get a few drinks. Something like this. And then you've got a hangover for 2 or 3 days, and you've just lost a precious chunk of time that could have spent on whatever this is here. These are all basic examples just to try and ground this message in some sort of reality so everybody can relate to this in some capacity. And I'd go as far as saying that there's probably not a single person listening to this reading that has not dealt with this at some point in their life. But whatever this is, Gemini, that you're trying to manifest calls for great change, because this is something that will bring great change into your life. So it's as if you need to prime, you need to prepare your environment, your auric field. And my right palm is really itching right now, Gemini, which is telling me that there's something trying to make its way to you. In fact, I feel like it's already here energetically. It's just a matter of you preparing yourself to be able to receive this. You need to be the vibrational match, but what you want does want you, Gemini, whatever this may be. But you're going to have to sacrifice things in your environment so you can show the universe that you are a match for whatever this is here. Simply put, Gemini, the divine wants you to prove yourself that you're responsible enough to take care of this precious gift that they're getting ready to bestow upon you. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? And this goes along with everything I just said, Gemini. The world, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius energy at the solar plexus. The world is an energy of perfect unity. It's an energy of integration. This is you integrating with this blessing that is preparing to come into your life. It's you closing out one cycle and stepping into a new season of your life, understanding that there's things that need to be released in order to access this new energy. I don't know why they want me to give this example to you all, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway because it's kind of funny. It's like somebody who's just bought a brand new car, and their old car they had for, let's say, 20 years. This car was really beat up. Seats were all torn up, and they put seat covers on their torn up seats. But these seat covers, I mean, they've seen better days as well. But this person, when they get their brand new car, I mean, this thing is brand spanking new, just driven off the lot. Stickers are still on the window. It's got like 5 miles on it, the distance from the dealership to your home. This person takes the old car seat covers out and puts them on the seats in their new car. This is like a really silly, basic example of what I'm getting here. It's like trying to take something from the old timeline with you that you don't need. It's just like, it's like you're holding on to it like it's your precious or like it's your blankie that you've had since childhood. It's something that you really need to release here and let go of. Taking something along with you that does not need to go with you, that's creating drag, dirtying up the new space, so to speak. But I feel like this is in the form of a person. I'm hearing a behavioral pattern for a lot of you. These are probably two of the biggest things that will hold us back from really accessing new timelines and stepping into new seasons in our life. You know, addictions can fall under the umbrella of behavioral patterns as well. So take it as it fits, but this is really what I'm getting here. And a lot of the time, when it comes down to releasing people from your life, this isn't really something that I feel needs to be a conversation. For some of you, it may need to be, but for a lot of you, it's usually just a matter of you creating space, moving away from these energies and just really starting to put some distance between you all. Because I feel like some of these energies, Gemini, have been inside your everyday waking life for a really long time, and you're just not seeing growth. It's like you've just been in this repeating pattern. It's the only thing different about each day is the date, is the year. But every single day is just like the last one. There's no evolution inside of this energy. I'm seeing a barren wasteland in my mind's eye. No growth anywhere in sight. Just tumbleweeds blowing around in the hot winds. This is how this energy looks on the spiritual plane, Gemini. What do we have at the heart, please? Wow. Two of Swords, Libra energy at the heart. And again, goes along perfectly with everything I'm saying. Here you are inside this energy, knowing you need to make some sort of decision here. Essentially at a crossroads. You could take the path to your happiness, start going after some of these dreams you have, seeing if you can actually pull some of these things into your reality, giving yourself a fighting chance, or you can stay inside this energy, fight for those dreams, and do what you've always done and still get the exact same results. Failure, stagnation, little to no evolution inside that environment. I just heard very clearly for some of you, this is some sort of behavioral pattern or addiction. It's like somebody's trying to accomplish something in their life. They know they need to cut back on drinking, so they're more focused. They have more hours in the day. Most of their time has been spent recovering from whatever it is that's ailing them, but it's by choice. There's somebody out there in the collective that has tried just cutting back. For a lot of you, this is smoking as well. Something that is really affecting your health negatively here. You think cutting back is going to do the trick, but to be able to accomplish this level of greatness, you need to go cold turkey. I personally gave up drinking 5 years ago, and towards the end, I went through periods where I cut back a lot. I saw a little bit of progression, but nothing that was very significant. Because you have to understand that just because you've cut back on something, it doesn't mean that that spirit of whatever that is, that attachment, let's call it a demon, because it's the spirit of addiction, which is a demon. Just because you're not entertaining it as much as you once did, it doesn't mean it's gone away. It's still there. See, this energy needs to be completely eradicated, completely obliterated from your energy. No. This is not easy, but this is absolutely necessary when it comes down to this particular thing you're trying to manifest into your life. This is what must be sacrificed. See, a lot of people just get stuck in these cycles with people, addictions, behavioral patterns, because there's something telling them inside of them that if they weren't able to achieve whatever this is that they're trying to achieve in their life, while they had these energies around them that they were entertaining, that they won't be able to achieve it once they eradicate these energies from their life. And Gemini, I cannot tell you how incorrect this is. And I had many things in my life that I had to eradicate to be able to step into success beyond just giving up drinking. There were behavioral patterns that I needed to break free of, as well as many, many individuals that I needed to banish from my life. Individuals that were essentially a bad influence. And Gemini, it was almost overnight for me that I saw massive change in my life as I started to pinpoint all these energies in my life and just started to pluck them out one by one. Every time I plucked one out, I had a level up. It got to a point where I felt like I was playing a game with the universe. I just started cutting people out of my life left and right. I started challenging the universe, going all in on my health, leaving no stone unturned. I did everything I possibly could, and I saw results. I started doing all that in 2018, and I feel that I crossed over into the new timeline, summer of 2020, during the pandemic. See, there are these stages that we go through right before we're getting ready to step into the new timeline. And right before I crossed the threshold into the new timeline, I was in the Fool energy for about 4 months. I just got to a point where I walked away from everything. And the pandemic was really the perfect opportunity to do this because nobody knew which way anything was going to go. Everybody's lives changed. I felt the need to take a fool's journey. Step out on faith and let the divine guide me. And sure enough, after following all of my intuitive guidance, I moved in perfect alignment with the messages that were being channeled to me from the divine. I did end up in the new timeline. And when I stepped into that new timeline is when I launched this channel. And everything changed. Nothing has ever been the same. My old life is just like this fading echo. This is what I'm getting here for a lot of you Geminis. It's a very, very big energy. But it's very important, Gemini, that you have faith in this higher guidance that's coming online, trying to prime you and guide you into this new season of your life. What do we have at the throat, please? 8 of Pentacles at the throat. Wow. Gemini, there is a whole new timeline that you're about to step into. What you want wants you, Gemini. This pull you feel inside of you, that's your destiny calling you. This 8 of Pentacles, Virgo energy at the throat, is representing you in the new timeline. This whole reading is very clear. Here you are, with all these energies surrounding you, putting this negative spin or sprinkling their negative energy over this magician energy, which represents the manifestations. It's like every time you're in this magician energy trying to do your magic, it's like you just can't get a spark out of that wand. It's like trying to turn a car over and it just won't start. It just won't spark. It's like an energy of bad luck. But this is coming in the form of people, places, things, behavioral patterns, addictions, stuff like this. It's just an energy. It's a spirit that's around you, that's on you, that's in you, something like this. But it's only there because you're allowing it to be there, Gemini. The world at the solar plexus is you having the understanding now that something's up, something's off. But there's also a knowing here that if you eradicate your energy of whatever this is here that's causing this disruption, you actually know now. You have this deep knowing like you've never had before that you can actually pull this off. See, when I was going through this energy, I was doubting myself a lot because nothing I was trying was working. So I started to look at my external environment, my behavioral patterns, addictions, all these sorts of things. And I started to realize, okay, I started to understand vibration. I started to study the chakra systems, frequencies, behavioral patterns. And I started to realize that there wasn't anything else that I needed. It was more so me needing to get rid of things, stop doing things, stop entertaining energies. It's like I had too much cargo. I couldn't get off the ground. I couldn't have liftoff. Once I started to recognize these energies around me, All of these things that I was trying to manifest into my life, I started to see as being very possible, that they weren't just dreams, that these were things that I could actually bring into my life. Because the recognition of what it was that was creating drag also comes with recognition surrounding that your manifestations that you're trying to pull into your life are actually a part of your path. And this is the same energy I'm getting here. So you have this recognition. You start to understand that there's certain things that need to go. And then on the other hand, you start to see, okay, well, if I get rid of these certain things, I actually can pull this into my life. The world at the solar plexus, closing out these cycles. Now you're faced with this decision you need to make. Or decisions. Usually it's going to be more than one. Two of Swords at the heart. You start to understand that you've been entertaining this self-sacrificing kind of energy. For some of you, there's an energy of codependency here. This is typically always going to be a part of the equation. We're codependent on these energies in some capacity as they are us. But see, what you've gained here yellow slippers, solar plexus energy, is a certain level of confidence that you didn't have before. Confidence that you can do this on your own. It's like each card represents you being gifted with something from the previous step. So right here, Two of Swords. You're gifted with the confidence to now make this decision. And then this Eight of Pentacles at the throat. You've made the decision. You've decided to bet on yourself, and boom, you step into this energy of purpose. What do we have at the third eye, please? Seven of Pentacles. And lo and behold, all your hard work is finally bearing fruit. You're on path. It's an energy of great accomplishment, Gemini. Cannot tell you how incredible it is to finally step into an energy that had been calling you for so many years, decades for some of you, and look back at the path that you had to grind on to get to where you are now. Knowing that you're standing directly smack dab in the middle of that vision that you always held for yourself. Gemini, do not deny yourself of being able to feel this in your lifetime. There's truly nothing greater, because what this does is confirm to you that the presence of God and the divine is alive and well in your life. You start to look back on all those struggles in your life. You start to think about all the times you were talking to God, your spirit guides, the divine, in your darkest hours, not knowing if the universe can hear you, not knowing if God can hear you. This energy here is you stepping into this new timeline and getting confirmation by way of your success that all your prayers were always received. In fact, they were answered immediately. See, it takes time to get out of some of these cycles, because what it comes down to is us compartmentalizing what it is we're entertaining, the realization of what it is that surrounds us. We have to know the name of the demons that stand before us in order to eradicate them from our lives. The demon being the people, the behavioral patterns, the addictions. It's us being honest with ourselves. It's also another way of looking at us having to face our shadow self, heal our inner child. All of this, it all falls under the same umbrella. But all those prayers, all those times you were speaking out to the ethers, it was all heard, Gemini. All of it, every word. As you spoke those prayers into the ethers, the divine was working around the clock, arranging things in your life to get you out of those cycles. It's like they have to guide you out of a version of hell, and they have to do it through the signs and synchronicities around you. It's like they can't get the signal through to you very clearly because you're entertaining these low vibrational environments. But once you step over this threshold and you're standing right in the middle of that vision, you start to look back and you start to recognize this. All those times you start to see the truth. You're like, wow, I remember when I was going through that and I was praying, begging and pleading to God to get me out of it. And I thought that I wasn't heard. It's you understanding that you were heard. This feeling alone, Gemini, is a feeling that you must not deny yourself of. And I can only speak on this because I've been through this. But I always held on to hope, Gemini. It's really all I had. Even if I didn't see an immediate answer to my prayers, I just felt better when I did pray. I felt relief. That prayer is like calling God up on the phone and saying, hey, God, I'm going through this right now. Will you stay on the phone with me? I don't want to be alone. God's like, of course. You're my child. It's that kind of feeling. I use those prayers in all my darkest hours, everything. And it always made me feel better. That's how you access God, Gemini. And I promise you, Gemini, based off of what I've experienced in my own life, that for those of you that are still going through these dark times out there, pray, because your prayers are being received. And as long as you're willing to help the divine help you by doing the things you know you need to do to be able to get yourself to this new timeline faster, you're going to make it a lot easier on them to get you there in a timely fashion. So don't be your own worst enemy, Gemini. Help God help you. What do we have at the crown, please? Four of Pentacles. Gemini, it's like you make this decision and then you're swimming in abundance, success. All Pentacles. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. There's a lot of earth energy here. Four of Pentacles at the crown. It's an energy of long-term security and stability. It's also an energy of wealth. You're finally able to access these visions, and you're doing it with ease. You see so clearly now what the resistance was. And for those of you that are dealing with people that are creating this resistance in your life, what you'll find is when you step into these new timelines, these people will cease to exist in that new reality. You won't hear from them anymore. You won't bump into them because you're now on another vibrational plane. You're aligning, and they've essentially failed at their mission to hold you back from stepping into this new timeline. It's like they're the custodians of these karmic cycles, and they're tasked with keeping people inside those cycles, keeping those cycles essentially thriving and alive. There is a black sheep energy on this table. This is a path you're carving out on your own, Gemini. Nobody can go with you. Nobody can tell you how to do this. The instruction manual by which you step into this new timeline and succeed is all within you. And you access more and more of this intuitive knowledge, these instructions, this information, this mission statement by following your higher guidance. Your higher guidance is that intuitive channel, the information highway between you and the divine. This is how they get you this information. Once you start listening and you actually get on path and you move in a very methodical fashion and you do not falter, you'll find that these intuitive downloads come in quicker, clearer. You're able to take action much sooner without hesitation. Once you've been in this energy for a couple of years, Gemini, you'll find that manifestation is incredibly easy. You can practically blink and things will start manifesting for you. As long as it's in alignment with the divine will of your purpose, manifestation is essentially the tool that you use to access the supplies you need to keep functioning inside of that space. The divine knows what you need. As long as you're on path, working inside of that space, you have access to it. It's not hard. It's easy. This is called alignment. What do we have at the foundation, please, from the Occult Tarot? The Sun, Boon. Gemini, I read these next few cards as negative polarities. Essentially, these energies in their detriment. The Sun, in its detriment, Shadow Leo energy, is an energy of lacking success. It's an energy of depression. It's also an energy of you doubting yourself. Goes along perfectly with everything I was saying at the beginning of the reading. And knowing the name of the demon that stands before you, right? There you are, essentially praising this demon without even knowing it. Because you're engaged in this cycle, this karmic energy. And again, this demon can represent people around you, behavioral patterns, addictions. For a lot of you, it's going to be a petri dish of all of these things. For me, it was a little bit of everything. And to reiterate what I was saying, as you pluck out each thing one by one, you'll start to notice that you're having growth. You start to feel lighter. And usually, the things that are causing the most resistance and drag inside your energy are the things that you would never in a million years ever suspect them to be, Gemini. Usually people. Sorry to say, it's always those closest to you. But you've always had some sort of inner knowing, but you maybe thought you were overreacting or you didn't want to believe it. I always had an inner knowing about the last couple of people that I had to release from my life, but I didn't want to believe it. Thought maybe I was overthinking things. I was overreacting. But sure enough, as soon as I released these last couple of people, I got that plane off the ground, Gemini. It's like these individuals were the heaviest pieces of cargo that I was dragging along with me without even knowing it, or not wanting to believe the inner knowing that I did have. But that's okay, Gemini. We all go through this. It's all a part of closing out these cycles. We all actually have to go through that. There's no perfect way of doing this. We must all feel each and every emotion in accordance with each and every step that comes along with closing out these karmic cycles in our life. We must know the inner workings of how this all goes down. That information alone leaves you with a wealth of knowledge and wisdom that you can't put a price on, Gemini. This is life experience that you now have. And this is all going to serve you in this new season of your life. You also start to realize when you're standing smack dab in the middle of that vision that everything had to unfold exactly the way it did. That nothing could change. Everything had to be that way. It was all a part of the path for you. What do we have? The sacral, please. Eight of Cups, Pisces energy at the sacral. Further indicating that we're tapped perfectly into your energy right now, Gemini. This right here is an energy of learning from the past, confronting the truth, and walking away. No longer denying yourself of your true heart's desires, leaving indecision and this hopeless, aimless, drifting kind of energy behind. And understanding that if bridges need to be burned in the process of doing this, it's absolutely necessary. Because those bridges actually don't lead you anywhere. They lead you right back to that same island you were trapped on with those energies. It's also an energy of abandoning all hope, Gemini. Some of these people you're leaving behind are going to have to sit in it. Whenever I see this card, it's like somebody saying, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" Gemini. Because you took your power back, and now these energies have to watch you live your best life. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Eight of Pentacles, Zogan, red in its detriment. Now, this is very interesting because we have Eight of Pentacles here as well. But I read this as a negative polarity. So exactly where you're going is exactly what they were trying to keep you from. They essentially knew about this. Whether it's something that they can even articulate or something they even have a knowing of, they just felt the need to do certain things to hold you back. It's an energy that wanted to affect your ambition and focus. It's also an energy that wanted you to think that you were unskilled in something here, Gemini. For a lot of you, there's something you're going for. You have this vision. You have this true heart's desire, but you haven't been receiving any support. In fact, you've been met with a lot of resistance regarding whatever this is here. Very unsupportive energies. Gemini, you must realize that the more resistance you feel around something that you feel so deep in your heart, the more confirmation that should give you that this is actually a part of your destiny. When people seem so invested in keeping you from something, you need to take that as a sign, Gemini. However that shows up in your life. You know, there wasn't one person who supported me on the path I'm on now, Gemini. Not a single individual. I knew people were laughing at me behind my back. I knew that people thought I was out of my mind for taking this path. But lo and behold, Gemini, after achieving tremendous success inside this space, not one of those people have come back to congratulate me. Not a single one of them. Same here for you, Gemini. And that should really tell you something. And it should also tell you what kinds of people you're dealing with. Very jealous, envious individuals, Gemini. It's like you have something inside of you that they wish they had. So instead of trying to align with that energy in their own life, they'd rather try and obliterate it. And I quite see this a lot in these readings, Gemini. When I get messages like this, the energy you're supposed to be moving toward they're actually attacking you with the polar opposite energy to that. You're supposed to be going towards Eight of Pentacles upright, so they're attacking you with Eight of Pentacles in reverse. You achieve this by focusing, by pushing forward without falter. So they do everything they can to affect your focus and your confidence and create as much stagnation, resistance, and chaos on your path as they possibly can. And the illustration on this card, it's interesting, right? The wings are on the hips, and then the arms are doing these loop-de-loops. What I was saying about you not being able to get your plane off the ground, it's like this, there's a message in there. It's like maybe this person was trying to control the outcome. Just do it this way, Gemini. I can get this plane off the ground. And they're just standing there doing loop-de-loops with their arms, essentially just keeping you in a cycle of madness with them. What do we have at the heart, please? Bathen, which is the Knight of Wands in its detriment. Aries, Leo, Sag energy. Scandal. Follows up what I just said perfect in Gemini. This is a very reckless energy. It's somebody who creates a lot of delays, brings a lot of frustration and chaos into your life based off of their behavior. It's like your days are just always spent consumed by this person's energy. How they live their life. It's just everything about this energy is so draining. Simply put, Gemini, it's a very low vibrational energy. You can't accomplish anything while you're entertaining this energy. And what's interesting here is we have this Two Swords right at the heart. We have this Eight of Pentacles in its detriment here, and this Eight of Pentacles upright here. It's like this is the decision. Left-hand path, right-hand path. And it's like this Knight of Wands is right here in the middle. This is them. This is their way. This is your way. And then we have Khalil, Justice, Libra energy. Now we move into the outcome, Gemini. Gemini, this is an energy of balance, truth coming out, you stepping into this winning season of your life. And a lot of this truth will come to you, like I was saying, once you step over the threshold. Divine just needs to get you into that allocated position. And then they'll start giving you these downloads, what really took place. You'll start to see things differently. This will go on for a lifetime. The people that I moved on from in my own life, I haven't seen or spoken to in several years. And there's still things that come to me almost on a daily basis. I'll have these little aha moments. These epiphanies. I'll start to see things like I didn't see them before. More things being illuminated to me. More truths being downloaded to me from the divine. What do we have at the throat, please? Wheel of Fortune, Metatron, at the throat. The recording angel. Advancement and progress. Teaches, guides, and records events in the book of life. Like I was saying, Gemini, this is all a part of the mission statement. And I've been speaking on this Wheel of Fortune energy for this entire reading. This is representing you stepping into this new timeline. It's like I had a knowingness that this energy was going to come out at some point in this reading. This is you holding this big picture vision over your life. Actually getting there. Actually standing right there smack dab in the middle of it in disbelief that you actually made it. But you have a lot of good luck and good fortune on your side, Gemini. This is an energy of awakening. This is your destiny. What do we have at the third eye, please? And look who decided to show up to the party, Gemini. The devil. Samael. The severity of God. Seduction and downfall. Communicates with the dead, teaches the occult and magic. And look, there he is. Shuffling off, Gemini. Because you now know them by name. Know their name, and they will flee. In other words, recognize these energies for what they are. Face them. Person, behavioral pattern, addiction, whatever it is, Gemini. This represents you facing that energy. Seeing it as a spirit, as some sort of attachment. Something that's holding you back. What do we have at the crown, please? Two of Pentacles, Poyel, Capricorn energy at the crown to close out the reading. God who supports the universe, fortune and fame fulfills any request. And this is going back to what I was saying about prayer, right? And not knowing if the universe is hearing you. This is further confirming that the universe is hearing every prayer that you're sending out into the ethers, Gemini. This is an energy that is preparing you, priming you. It's an energy of adapting to this new cycle. And the more you start to understand the mechanics of prayer and manifestation, Gemini, and what I was saying in regards to frequency and vibration and the energies that you have surrounding you, the quicker this energy will start shifting in your life. This is an energy of adapting quickly. There's also this giving and receiving energy that you are now in with the divine. You put up your prayers, the divine gives you the downloads, and you show up for yourself, and you function inside of that allocated position that you're meant to be in. 2, 4, 7, 8 of Pentacles, all here at this throat, third eye, and crown chakra, not to mention as well as this Wheel of Fortune right here at the throat. And look who's smack dab in the middle of all of this. Unbelievable. And this is also the third eye. Third eye, this is all relating to how you perceive your environment, your reality. It's like going from one polarity to the next. This is your vision. This is your purpose. This is your destiny. This is representing this low vibrational frequency in hell, person, behavioral pattern, addiction, whatever it is. This is you leaving this energy behind and heading towards your destiny. Gemini, this is the energy that's available to you, depending on where you are on this timeline, should you choose to accept. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading, you can find all of my contact details in the description below this video. And thank you for your donations, Gemini. Take care.